A couple days ago, in anticipation of the rain, I raked a bunch of bedding out. After the snow melted, it was just a muddy mess over here. It helped. It's, much better. I have no shortage of bedding to rake out. It's really warm. It's 50 degrees and I got a warm sweatshirt on. Making a spot for my onions over there. They're doing really well. I should cut some for greens inside. There's a pot in the back that's holding moisture well enough to leave it alone. There's seeds in there. Made a nice hole. Rearranging. I think the celery would fit good there. The pots are tall, but the celery's not. And I have been picking off of this. That's why they don't seem to get bigger. They kind of need time to grow before I do any more cutting. And I potted one up. I had a small one that I saved. It can stay up top. That's what fits. Unfortunately, the heater kind of blocks some of the light. So it doesn't get a lot of light back there. I think I can tuck this one right in the front. It'll get better light towards the front of the table. So this worked out. That's good. That'll work. Get one more plant that I can put in this hole I have in the front. It's a petunia. I lost a bunch of my petunias from aphids. So I'm thinking about adding a light to this bottom shelf. Things are starting to color up and come back. Like they're responding to March. But I think they need more light. I didn't want to tackle that yesterday because of the rain. I just didn't feel like going outside. So that's part of cleaning, rearranging. It's just part of greenhouse maintenance for a space this small. I just keep trying to make it a little better. That should help some. It's not on a timer, so it'll be a pain in the butt for a minute. The rosemaries are too tall. Put them down here. And I added a light underneath the table. So those were the two dark spots that were a problem. Got the heat turned all the way down and it's 50, so I really like to leave this door open for a little while. Go open greenhouse 2. So the only real seeding I've done is the winter sowing, which will not sprout until the weather is right, which is a benefit. They end up being healthier, stronger plants. I did start a couple of tomatoes from grocery store tomatoes that I like a lot. They're not hothouse grown. They're heirlooms. They're, what else? Organic. They're organic. So I have one up and one that I just planted, and there's, I don't know, 5 coming up in one teeny tiny pot. Yellow heirlooms. Excuse me while I fool at the door. Doesn't have a magnet, doesn't stay open. And magnets don't hold and it's getting windy, so. Thinking about moving this greenhouse out of the veggie garden. I have to take all these things out if I'm going to do that, but I'm not doing it today. I don't know, I keep changing my mind. It will fit behind greenhouse 1. And it would give me more space in the actual veg garden. I planted outside the vegetable garden a lot last year and probably will continue to do so, because what I want to plant is more than the garden can hold. I'm using the space behind the garden for broom corn, sunflowers, and amaranth. I do have an amaryllis blooming in my kitchen. I must put in a picture. It's the second bloom for the bulb I got on sale at Tractor Supply. Duckies. Pond is still frozen. I let them out yesterday when it rained all day. They had a really good day. So the planting area back here is skinny at the north end, but when you get to the south end of the garden, it widens. So I have about 3-4 foot of space, 4 probably in this corner, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1 foot down there. And it disappears in the corner. So definitely going to use that. The trees I have back here are not in the ground. They're still in their containers. So I'll pull them out, put them in a bigger container, and put them elsewhere until the growing season's over. And then when fall hits and I need those evergreens there, I'll put them back in their pots. When I bought them in the fall, they didn't have good information on the tag as far as how big they get. So I don't know if that's the ones I want there. But in a pot, moving the pots around really works out. So the ground is thawing out on top. I don't know how deep the freeze is, but the top is squishy. Took a minute to clean off my trellises. There's passion fruit, passion vines I planted here last year. I gotta get this side of the ground, it's all crooked. Eucalyptus. Got rid of one of the eucalyptus trees. Looks better without it. And I realized that I can dig in the soil, so there's a couple plants that I want to move on the other side of the yard. Going to move this one. To the other side. I think it'll look better over there. Bamboo, clumping bamboo. My first bulb. We have had really cold nights. We've had really cold nights, and it's still there. So I can dig here in front of the greenhouse. The thaw line is all the way through. But on the other side of the property, I can't dig. There's still a freeze line. This is the after. Because it's not all done, you can't really tell the before. But I was trying to just uncover my evergreens some. The rest of it will have to be done with scissors. The overflow. Lemon tree propagations from last year. Still have a few squash left down there.